After winning that game 3-1 against Man United on Sunday, Arteta looks like has been given more reasons to worry about Thomas Partey's injury. It's obviously one of those players that you obviously anticipate that is going to get injured, because he has proven that ever since they signed him from Atletico Madrid, he's an injury-prone player. But that's not what you would have your team to be going through for a player who is really so much pivotal for that Arsenal side like Thomas Partey to come in through and obviously do the needful and obviously be injured. So we are having lots of reports coming in from Sammy McBall, Arteta himself, and very many other outlets concerning this injury of Thomas Partey. The games of Arsenal that is going to miss are really confirmed, and we are yet to obviously let you know what exactly this is all about. Welcome to this channel, Arsenal News Show. Smash the like button close to 400 times. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. You can as well call me RDE, and let's continue subscribing so that we hit 18,000 subscribers before the end of this month. I congratulated you guys for helping us hit 17,000 subscribers last month, and this month we are on to that road to hit 18,000 subscribers. So let's start it off with a story coming in from Now Arsenal, and it reads as follows: that Thomas Partey is expected to be out for 6 to 8 weeks with a groin injury, which is much better than first feared. This injury covers 2 international breaks, the current one and one of the end of October, meaning could only be out for 4 league games. That is coming in from Arsenal Now. So Thomas Partey is a player that Arsenal fans really love, and it left a divided opinion amongst the fans of Arsenal when Thomas Partey was really rumored to be leaving Arsenal, especially towards the end of last season and throughout the window. Obviously, when he was left out in that Arsenal squad that traveled to America for the preseason, they really came out and obviously had a different feeling about it altogether. But I would like to understand that he stayed at Arsenal, but he has just gone ahead to play 3 games for Arsenal. After those 3 games, he got injured last week during training, and it said he's going to miss out on 3 games of Arsenal. Then, and Sammy McBall came out and obviously told us the same thing, meaning that this is a confirmation coming in from a tier 1 journalist. Sammy McBall works for the Mail Sport, and he said Arsenal midfielder Thomas Partey set to miss at least 6 weeks after suffering a muscular injury in training, with the club hopefully will return after the October international break. He also added the games that he's going to miss and said that means Thomas Partey is set to miss crucial EPL fixtures against Everton, Spurs, Bournemouth and Man City, as well as the club's return to the Champions League action in fixtures against PSV and RC Rennes. The news comes as a major blow to Mikel Arteta, given Partey's importance to his team. So, to me, I don't see an excitement here, because every manager should obviously want to have his team physically fit. Now, when you talk about the games that he's set to miss, they are really huge, according to me, because if you're playing Man City, you'll obviously need a Thomas Partey in your team. If you're playing Everton, especially next weekend, you need Thomas Partey in your team, because the physical presence of those Everton players is really huge. Dokore, Gueye, Onana. So you'll need a Thomas Partey into that midfield to help you out. Even you're playing Spurs, you need him. It's always worse to have injuries for your players. But when you look at Arsenal, they are known at their worst like Man United. United has close to 6 players who could be into that team injured. But for Arsenal, only having Thomas Partey, but he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, and you wouldn't like to miss him out if at all. He's bringing in the best that you deserve as a team of Arsenal. So, to my understanding, I obviously really know that it's really a huge one for that side of Arsenal, and they're going to miss him out for a very long period of time. The big game against Man City, guys, if there is a game you wouldn't like to have Thomas Partey, I don't think should be the game of Manchester City. Why? The game of Man City obviously calls in for Arteta to deploy, Thomas Partey and to deploy Thomas Partey and Declan Rice in that midfield. Though I was really highly anticipative, waiting to see who the manager is going to choose to obviously play in the midfield when Arsenal were taking on Manchester United. And it obviously came on to an extent that the manager had a reason to give, and he escaped that question because Arsenal fans had gotten fed up of his experiments as far as playing Thomas Partey in the right back was concerned, and they obviously called it out that they need to make changes, especially for Thomas Partey and Kai Havertz, that Kai Havertz should get out of the starting 11 of Arsenal and Thomas Partey takes back his midfield position. Now, it leaves lots of question marks at Arsenal on how they're obviously going to play this season, because you'll obviously have to really face it when Thomas Partey is really out. And I obviously told you that for me, Thomas Partey being out has gone ahead to obviously act as a blessing in disguise for that Arsenal side, as he was one of those players that he wouldn't want to leave out, and very many questions have gone ahead to be raised, and decided to play him on the right back to play an inverted role into from the right side of the fullback. That is one of the things that you couldn't really embrace. But the Champions League games too, it really acts bad, because this moment it's obviously going to be Arsenal playing 2 games every week and not having Thomas Partey, meaning that their midfield is going to be stretched, as they're only having Declan Rice and Jorginho into that position to obviously coming through and do the needful. So we wait and see how Arteta goes on with that, but he has also gone ahead and obviously put out a statement onto the Thomas Partey injury, and he's really worried about how long he's really going to be out onto this fixture. He said, I don't know. Unfortunately, he got an injury in training and it doesn't look good. We need some more tests. We believe he's going to be out for weeks. We think it's a groin, but can be something in between. So that is Mikel Arteta for you, putting in a very huge statement on Thomas Partey, and he says it never looked good on him. And it's obviously one of those injuries that Thomas Partey doesn't really get always, because you always know he pulls a muscle, knee injury, back injury, ankle injury. You know, those are the 4 injuries I've seen Thomas Partey really experience while at Arsenal, and they've been really recurring, repetitive, to an extent that some Arsenal fans were fed up of him because of being injured. And obviously I understand where their nervousness comes in from, because for a player you need to be available. That is it, especially for a player like Thomas Partey and how important it is to the squad. He needs to be available to really represent for the team. But every time he's not available, there is obviously some huge gap into the team of Arsenal. So we wait and see how that really pans out. But Thomas Partey is a player who has been out for very many times for Arsenal, and this time round it has started early and he's missing out for 2 months. And I think last season he at least tried to obviously be available, because I never saw him out for 8 weeks. Those are 2 months. He was out for like 4-5 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then he returned to play game for Arsenal. But the beauty of it all is that there is a very huge squad for Arsenal, you know. Jorginho can come in through and obviously play in that position, and Arteta is confirming to us that Declan Rice is going to be his CDM, and Declan Rice confirmed to us that he enjoys it better when he plays as a CDM at Arsenal. So we wait and see how that really pans out, and maybe Arteta will obviously cling onto his system. Maybe it will click later on with time, but right now the results have not been as positive as expected. So what are your thoughts about Mikel Arteta or Thomas Partey's injury giving Arteta more worry? A welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about this? Because this is a very pivotal player and integral into the team of Arsenal, but as it looks like the numerator is out of action for some time. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikum. First video of the day, more is yet to come onto this channel. I sign out. Bye-bye.